So, have you ever met someone whose words appeared genuine, but you felt a little unsettled about what they said? Welcome to the Daily Devo. I, of course, am Vince Miller. Today, we're jumping back into context where David is standing on that hill far away from Saul, yet they're talking back and forth. And here is how the text reads in verses 22 through 25. And David answered and said, "Here's the spear, O king. Let one of the young men come over and take it. The Lord rewards every man for his righteousness and his faithfulness. For the Lord gave you into my hand today, and I would not put out my hand against the Lord's anointed. Behold, as your life was precious this day in my sight, so may my life be precious in the sight of the Lord, and may he deliver me out of all tribulation." Then Saul said to David, "Blessed be you, my son David. You will do many things and will succeed in them." So David went his way, and Saul returned to his place. So, friends, there are people in this life who make proclamations and pledges that are less than promising. You have known these kinds of people, haven't you? Their motives seem a little inconsistent or appear to have some hidden underlying agenda to them. Well, David experienced this firsthand with Saul right here. In fact, he experienced it numerous times. Saul here confesses his sin, professes this to everyone around, then calls David his son, which he used to call him the son of Jesse, but now he calls him his son, and then invites him to return. However, David knew Saul's heart better than even Saul knew his own heart, and saw right through his empty confession. Still, David's response was both gracious and wise. Instead of accepting Saul's invitation to return, he asked a young man to come over and retrieve the king's spear. I think this was a profound statement about the nature of David and Saul's relationship. David understood that genuine reconciliation between him and Saul would require way more than a show and a spectacle before people. It would demand a change of heart and action. Heart and action. So David's final words to Saul highlight a vital spiritual principle. He said this, "The Lord rewards every man for his righteousness and his faithfulness." What this is here is this is called the law of sowing and reaping. You see, what we sow in our hearts is reaped in our relationships and our behaviors. David's refusal to engage with Saul was actually a verdict on the hidden seed sown in Saul's heart. Saul sowed unrighteousness in his heart, and therefore he reaped it in his relationship with David, and of course, many, many others. And David was not falling for his empty words in this moment and his hallowed promises. We should always be discerning in our relationships. You should as well. Believers should practice, of course, forgiveness and grace. But we must also recognize when words do not align with actions so as not to subject ourselves to vengeful and hurtful people all the time. So this week, maybe take a moment to evaluate your relationships. If someone consistently speaks one way but acts another, speaks one way and acts another, consider how you can maintain healthy boundaries, while still demonstrating Christ-like love. Either it's time to have a candid conversation with that person, or like David, extend grace while guarding yourself from ongoing harm. Hope this is a blessing to you today. If it is, share it with someone else, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.